We have a sponsor today. Let's see. I think it's in the someday category.
Someday.
Okay. Red Bar Radio is brought to you by nobody. On purpose.
Yeah.
Stop with the ads, you creeps.
I was hoping it was going to be stamps.com.
Stop with the ads. So we got to record that. We got to have someone come up with that. I want to open the show, like have a thing.
Right.
Because you watch these other shows and it's like, Twit is brought to you by
Yeah.
Nutrex TriCaster. And by, I want to do one where it's like, nobody.
Mail.com.
You really need to stop. This is getting insane here.
See, I don't think I agree with you on that, though.
You don't.
I don't mind having, I don't mind the Twit has ads. Because I would rather, I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, but we're talking, okay, get Twit out of your mind.
Right, okay.
You're listening to Corolla. This guy's spending 15 minutes a day.
Well, see, I don't listen to Corolla.
And he's making a joke. He's like, yeah, these guys, legal zone. Legal zone.
See, I think that I don't listen to any of the ones that are really bad. Maybe that's why it doesn't bother me. Because, like the Nerdist ones, it'll be like, audible.com. And, okay, we get it. But it's not that much.
Oh, no, some of them are terrible.
And then it's like, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I can't pay for, like with your system, with the Barmy system, if everyone went by that system, I couldn't pay for multiple. Like,
no.
I would have to pick
it would
one.
Be terrible.
Right. I would have to just go with. So I would be like, fine, it's tell me an ad. I don't care that much.
Yeah, you're right.
But I appreciate the, for your, the idea of because everyone's not doing that.
They're not making money. That's what I'm saying. They're really not making any. I know how it works.
Right.
I've been with Adam and Eve, and I've seen the result. I know how those ad companies pay.
That's why they're doing it, because they can do it for cheap on podcasts. The money, all the money, they're going to give so little money.
But what those people who are doing shows don't realize is they're giving away that time.
Right.
They're sitting there for 5 minutes. Bill Burr, everyone's doing it. Promoting some company where it's you're only getting paid if you sell,
right?
Subscribe, whatever they're selling.
The Amazon click-through, I hate that.
Oh God,
that's just so
you buy something from us, you just click through it. Who would do that?
I don't know.
Who would do that?
It's wait, I was gonna buy that thing, but let me go through.
And what I do hate about it is it's okay, take a guy like Corolla.
Mm-hmm.
You have a live show every week where you're getting paid so much money to do.
Mm-hmm.
You have all these projects you're involved in. You're selling books. You're selling all these things. That's enough money.
Right.
You don't have to do the thing that makes you $300 extra a month. Right. You don't have to do that.
Well, that's true with
you have enough money where you don't have to force stamps.com on us. Same thing with Marin. It's he pretends that he's poor and that's support stamps.com. You're getting paid $10,000 a weekend to do stand up.
Right.
That's your
thing.
Paycheck for the show.
The podcast supports that. It's a thing that helps
you're doing the podcast. That's an advertisement for your stand up that you get paid $10,000 on the weekends to do. How does that not make sense? And then they pretend they're these honest, moral, outstanding people, and they're fucking selling stamps for the U.S. government.
Right. I know.
The biggest scam. They're setting us back. Stop it with the fucking stamps.
Yeah. And that's part of the whole disillusion with stand-up comics as a whole, where they're not what they...
You're either about, you can't pretend you're Bill Hicks and then do stamps.com.
You know what I'm also worried about with Nerdist? Because I was thinking about this when I started listening to You Made It Weird, where it's a network, and it's every comedy podcast is now either Nerdist or Earwolf. And so now you have these networks, and these networks get the it. They have the Audible and the whatever. Yeah. What happens when now Audible goes, hey, we don't like it when you say cunt on your shows?
And it will happen.
I guarantee you that. And Hardwick, who's now built up this, he's gone from the original point.
And everyone will oblige.
Yeah, they've gone from the original point of we're taking out the middleman
now.
Yeah, exactly.
God knows what they're not allowed to talk about, and they would follow that because they think it's for the better. I don't think they're evil. They think it's for the better. They're stupid.
And then they don't realize that they're fucking up something that's kind of important.
Very important.
This whole thing about taking the middleman out, where now you got the internet, you can reach your eyes. It's very important for people who want to just make content.
Yeah.
And want to just...
And you're not taking the middleman out. All these people now who claim that they took the middleman out the only reason they're on is because they had the middleman.
Right.
All of them. Corolla worked for the middleman his whole life.
Yeah, but
Hardwick
okay, you got the audience that way. Use that to fucking pave the way for people to come.
But they're not.
They're not.
They're still engaged in the mainstream.
Hardwick is making his own fucking middleman. If you're a comic in LA and you want to do a podcast, how do you not go, fuck, I got to get on the Nerdist Network?
Yeah.
Now you're going through the same bullshit where you're like, how do I get, like, now I got to go make friends with Hardwick and, you know, and it's probably not easy.
He's still abiding by all those mainstream law. Like, he still wants to be on TV. He still wants all that.
He's on G4 for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, and
the same thing with Crowley. He's like, yeah, we started a pirate ship, and now we're able to do whatever we want. Yeah, but you were on mainstream everything for 20 years.
Also,
same thing with Louis. When they say Louis reinvented, you could just sell it on your site. Yeah, if Louis
you have a giant fan.
He was just on Parks and Recreation. What are you talking about? He was on NBC. Are you out of your mind?
Does Corolla actually say he made a pirate?
Yeah,
because pirate ships
don't
have a giant flag that says stamps.com.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're fucking pirates.
Okay. And they think that they're doing something good, but it's like, yeah, Chris Hardwick, the same thing with you. Imagine, and I only say it because I literally did not have anybody.
Right.
There was no mainstream company that said, here's Mike David. He's a host of, Singled Out.
Right.
And then people remembered me and I was able to go on TV and promote this thing. They're using the mainstream to promote it, and then people come and then they pretend like,
oh, look at this great thing I started.
No, you're affiliated.
Yeah.
You're not. It's not like you're giving money back to those people.
Right. Yeah.
So, or fucking Corolla's on Leno. He was just on Celebrity Apprentice. Like,
right.
No, you're not doing it by yourself.
Yeah, you're still using that, and you have to he was on just
same thing with Maron.
He was on Jay Leno. So there's no way that he would now go on and talk shit about Jay Leno.
No, not at all.
Because it's
he kind of, he seems to be the less pussy about this whole thing. But Maron was on Conan 20 times before. So don't preach that you just worked hard and you built this thing yourself, because you didn't build it yourself. Right. And you used a ton of other people's audiences to do it.
And also, and this is something I'd like, not only are they using that mainstream to get the audiences, they're jumping onto the road paved by all the people who were trying to do it themselves. And
no, like seriously, when podcasts first came out, it was shows like ours.
Yeah.
That's it. And we're the ones who introduced podcasting to the world.
Right. And you're the guys.
And then what's disrespectful about it is they think that they invented it.
Exactly.
And
now they just just jump on they pop on the top onto the shoulders of all these people, like on the top of iTunes. Yeah. They didn't earn it through that channel. They came through, they broke through the wall and kind of fucked over all these people who were trying to get.
Exactly. iTunes was great when it was just podcasts. It was all people who were never famous before.
Right.
And doing shows. And now, like I said, if I tried to start a show right now, I would never have a chance.
Yeah.
Because you have these guys, one big show, they start a network. They put all their buddies on it, and then those become the big shows, and they clog up the whole system. You can't even go on iTunes. The top 50 are all it's Earwolf, Nerdist, Corolla. Who else? there's like three. Kevin Smith.
Oh yeah, that's the big one. Smodcast, yeah.
And then almost each of those channels has about 11 shows.
Yeah, because
that are horrible.
I was talking with Othie about this. Like, what that does is now all the people who did come to podcasting because of Nerdist, when they go, oh, this is awesome, I want to look into more. It used to be you would come in because you heard of, Reckless Media, and then you go, oh, I want to listen more. Then you'd find Red Bar or vice versa. Now it's, oh, I want to find more. Oh, I'll just go listen to other shows on Nerdist. Yeah. And they ignore and it's building up these walls that don't have to be there.
So you're becoming the company that you claim is a bad business model. You're the same thing.
And all that's happening, they're just building new networks.
You're just the NBC of the internet now.
Right.
So congratulations. Right. You said you hated that model because they would never let you in.
Yeah.
And now you've created a model where other people can. So it's the same thing. Terrible thing.
Yep.
But would I not do it? I
don't know.
I probably wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
I could build a network right now if I wanted to.
Right.
It's an easy that's a businessy way of doing things.
Right.
I don't consider this to be just a business where the biggest and the best is all that matters.
Right.
And then you get crutches because you can't. If I built a network and I had all these people and they want to have ads on,
Like
the
you
show
could
and
you could have before the whole thing, you could have done a network of Chicago comedy. Like, guys, come on, you can use the studio, do your own shows for like Chicago comics.
Yeah.
Like someone else recently started doing
The Bentwork Network.
the Bentwork.
Great network.
You could have done that, and it would have helped you more.
It's a waste of my resources.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like a waste of my time because that's not what I'm.
Well, because now guess what?
If I was a businessman,
right, exactly.
That's what I would do.
Now, guess what? Now you have to micromanage all the other podcasts.
why would I want to do that?
Yeah.
It's hard enough to run your own
And
show.
it's kind of like the whole point is like, fuck you.
And
Learn
then-
how to do it yourself.
Anyone you're affiliated with, this is what people understand, now become your boss in a way.
Right.
Because let's say I'm affiliated with somebody else and they don't like what I'm saying. Now I'm hurting them or that they might put pressure on me like, hey, I don't like that when you talk about this and that. So I think it's best no advertisers and nobody to have to respond to. So that leaves me now. That I'm just saying exactly what I want because the only people that could get mad are you. That's it.
Right.
There's
And like
nobody
now-
that could get mad at me, and that builds an honest show. You know that there's nothing that is going to be a lie or a facade. Or
Right.
we're not holding back to appease anybody.
like with the network, like you said, maybe Audible has said you can't say cunt on your network, which is a silly example because who cares if you say cunt? But in the like here, like Audible's like, hey, we don't want you to. And once that starts, it's the slippery road of like, well, now you're not.
Well, because let's say let's say the Nerdist can get huge, and it is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say one of their advertisers gets like an email from someone.
Right.
Oh, you're letting these shows say all this stuff?
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. And now
That's all it takes. And then the advertiser could be like, I didn't know, because they don't fucking listen.
Right.
They'd be like, oh, you can't do that. And then it's like, well, we put all our eggs in this Audible, just
Right.
using them as an example.
Right.
So, yeah, it's much easier
let's
to just
right. And that's he's
and
built
now
it up
you
to
have fake stuff, and they wonder why the Tonight Show has become
Right,
what it
exactly.
is. This is how.
Right.
This is how it
well, like
starts.
the networks, all the networks that exist now started the same way when broadcasting started. Like it's not like when a radio station was invented.
Yeah.
They were like, and here's the four major. It was, well, let's just combine it, and it just built up the same way it's happening now. And it shouldn't. They should have the foresight of mind to say, well, maybe this time we can do it without, like, we should stop that. We should do it without building the same bullshit walls.
Well, the problem becomes, it's always more fun if you're the guy
exactly.
getting all the stuff. Right. People kept coming to me.
Right.
Oh, we want to give you stuff.
Right.
It's a lot tougher. It's like being married and being ugly.
Right.
Yeah, you don't cheat. Mm-hmm.
But
if you're married and you're like Brad Pitt, it's a lot harder because people are like, I'll have sex.
right, everywhere you go.
Come on.
There is an extremely attractive.
Pull out that
right.
dick. That's
Right.
all, So yeah, it would be a lot harder.
Yeah, I guess it's.
But I do turn down ads all the time. People come to me.
Right.
Hey, how much do you charge for ad space? I give them a link that takes them to a place. They get lost for months. Oh, here's a link. Here's a link for you.
More, it's just links upon links.
HTTP. A bunch of colons. Hit the M key until you fall asleep.
I like the idea of them getting lost from they're searching, trying to find it.
Like I'm giving them directions.
Right, yeah,
Bad directions.
And then they're going to bed, getting up the next morning, like, okay, where did we leave off?
Imagine a skeleton, hit the enter key, spin in your chair 3 times, open the fridge only once, leave it open for a day, go back to your machine, type in a couple of W's, you'll figure out how to advertise with us.
You'll see it, you can't miss it.
Yeah.
Open your fridge.
Or just send
All
them
right,
Yeah.
I guess.